Hi, it's Bruce from What's Burning. Going to talk to you today about some of the tools in our kitchen, more specifically about knives. They're probably one of the most important tools that you have at your disposal. They come in different sizes and shapes, and for most of us who don't really pay attention, they probably come in various degrees of sharpness as well. I'm going to show you a set that I have. It's not a great set, but I like it. We'll talk about the different qualities of different steels, and in a future video I'll actually show you how I sharpen my knives. We'll talk about cutting boards and the various types of cutting surfaces that you can use for your knives. So without further ado, let us have a look at my knife set. I have here a set of knives from Ikea. They are made of a carbon stainless steel. More specifically, they're molybdenum vanadium stainless steel. It used to be a 9-piece set. It's now an 8-piece set because my cleaver has mysteriously gone missing. But I don't think it's much of a mystery because it never got used. It got stuck in a drawer somewhere. I'm pretty sure it got donated to Salvation Army or something. Anyways, I don't miss my cleaver right now. I'm sure as I go along this kitchen journey, I am going to miss it. So, when looking at purchasing different sets of knives, you're going to want to pick you're probably going to want to get a a carbon stainless steel knife. If you get one that is just carbon steel, it's a great material to sharpen. It sharpens very easily, but it loses its edge quickly, and it will also be very susceptible to staining when it comes into contact with acids such as tomatoes and whatnot. It can also put a tainted flavor in your foods. So the drawback to stainless steel is that it's harder to sharpen, but once it gets its edge, it keeps it a little bit longer. This set here, this set of 6, is from left to right, a tourne knife, a 6-inch French chef's knife, an 8-inch French chef's knife, a 10-inch French chef's knife, a fillet knife. It's a little bit different than the other knives. It's quite bendy, quite flexy. It's very useful in filleting fishes, for example. You can see this one isn't as flexy, even being so long. It's pretty stiff. Got a serrated edge on this knife. This is for cutting breads and whatnot. Probably more challenging to sharpen. I don't think I would, at this point in my experience, attempt to sharpen this. I'd probably take it to a professional. I'm pretty sure there are sharpeners made out there specifically for serrated edges. I have sharpened 2 of these knives. I've sharpened the 6-inch and the 8-inch, and I tell you, it makes a heck of a difference. Alright, so let's talk about the structure of the knife. Most knives are similar in construction. I mean, you look at a knife and you recognize it as a knife. A knife is a knife is a knife. Cleaver is a little bit larger knife. You've got different various sizes of knives, just as you saw in my set. So in general, they're all the same. They all have the same parts in general. An example of how one knife might be different from another. I can't remember the name of it. It's a Japanese knife. I think it's called a santoku or a santoku. It's got beveled edges along the blade all the way across, And what that is for is to create a smaller surface area on the knife so that food will tend to slide off while you're slicing or chopping. Let's see, the parts of the knife, you've got the tip here, you've got the spine along the back, you've got the cutting edge, you've got the heel, the back of the blade, you've got the bolster between the heel and the handles. It's kind of a dual purpose part. It helps keep the handle intact along with the rivets, and it also is a guard for your fingers. You've got the rivets, which are fixed to the tang. This tang is this piece here. Specifically on this knife, it goes all the way through to the end. You want to get a knife that has a tang that goes all the way through to the end. If you get a tang that's not visible, it's likely that it only goes part way through your handle. And it could happen that during repetitive use, your knife will eventually fail because that tang is too short. It's probably about that far into the handle. If this was an example of one such knife, I would wager it would go in about that far. I've heard stories, wild stories, about people using cleavers where it didn't have a full tang and the blade goes flying and chaos ensues. Let's see, this whole thing is the handle from here to here. Most knives will have a handle that's ergonomic, that is to say, it's comfortable to hold. Part of that has to do with the type of material. I've seen some with rubber handles. This one is a polymer of sorts. I'm not sure exactly what material it is. You'll see some made out of wood, but in general, regardless of the material, you want to make sure that that tang goes all the way through to the back. So there you have it, the parts of a knife: the tip, the spine, the cutting edge, the heel, the bolster, the handle, the rivets, and the tang. So there it is, my Ikea set of knives. They're not very impressive, are they? But they do the job. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something. Leave a comment below in the box. If you have a question or you want to see something in the future, just drop a line. I'll try to reply to all the comments. Subscribe. I'm going to be putting out videos every week or every couple of weeks, so I hope to talk to you soon. Cheers.